Hello and welcome. This is the news on NTA International, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. You can watch this news live on our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Justin Bemuye and our sign language interpreter is Shegun Ajayi. First, let's look at the headlines. European leaders discuss contentious issues of defense policies and support for Ukraine. Nigerian government assures business community of better days ahead as it unfolds programs to revamp economy. Plus, earthquake of 6.4 magnitude offshore hit Indonesia's Java island. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate 2024 World Water Day, the federal government is working out measures to prevent the water crisis and ensure sustainable water and sanitation. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Telumu Utsef, said this at a press briefing to mark the day in Abuja. And Usman Zubeiru tells us more.
Approximately 2.2 billion people worldwide lack access to safe drinking water, with 4.4 billion experiencing severe water scarcity. Although Nigeria is not considered one of the regions that will experience high water stress by 2040, access to clean drinking water is a serious challenge in the country. Therefore, to avert these pressing water and sanitation issues, the United Nations has designated March 22nd each year as a World Water Day to raise awareness on improving access to safe and clean water. Minister of Water Resources says government acknowledged the importance of improving access to water and has invested so much in water infrastructure to ensure that all Nigerians have clean and safe water.
It's the commitment of this administration to continue collaborating with development partners and donors in engaging with a range of stakeholders and supporting government strategic approach to proper execution of water policies in the country.
This year's theme, Water for Peace, was chosen to demonstrate water's pivotal role in fostering peace, prosperity, as well as conflict prevention. In observance of this year's World Water Day, the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation streamlined activities to include a work exercise, presentation of merit award to winners of 2024 water quiz competition, and commissioning of a water project at dormitory community. In Abuja, Usman Zubeiru, NTA News.
Now, the presidency says the government is not looking back on checkmating the sharp practices in the foreign exchange sector to guide against further relapse of the naira value, as it is also cutting government expenses through proper management of finances. Presidential advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, said this as he briefed State House correspondents on various efforts of the federal government to address social and economic challenges facing Nigerians. State House correspondent Musbao Danuhab reports.
The baby step being taken by our country is going well. The current challenge were about turning the corner. Our revenue is improved, and you can see reflected in the subnational.
The Chief Accounting Officer of the nation is monitoring the trend, and from the indications on his dashboard, things are looking up, manifesting in more strength for the Nigerian naira in the foreign exchange markets. But then, the storm is certainly not over yet.
We are very sober to the fact that this is no time to rest or to clap. This is a time to deepen our efforts, to dig in, and to work harder.
And now, the government is in another phase of unleashing some more short-term interventions it believes would further relieve the citizenry of the current hardship while also rejuvenating the Nigerian economy. Apart from the earlier conditional cash transfer to the most vulnerable, which is about to resume, the President has directed disbursement of 50,000 naira conditional grants to about 1 million nano businesses. About 150 billion naira is also being distributed to thousands of small and medium enterprises across the country with single-digit interest through the Bank of Industry and SMEDAN. There is also a package for the big employers of labor, including the construction and manufacturing sectors.
We want to ensure that those industries and sectors that are massively employing our people are those industries that are prioritized with respect to government intervention, which is why the President has approved over 75 billion naira to be dispersed to 75 large-scale manufacturers across all states of the Federation. These are going to be manufacturers who employ over 1,000 Nigerians in each of their facilities and industries. We are going to ensure that they have the support that they need at the large scale so that Nigerian families who rely on these large-scale businesses are protected. We want to see our large-scale industries not just refuse to fire people, but to actively increase and expand their hiring at this difficult time.
But while the government is firming up its effort to enhance the spending power of Nigerians side by side the strength of Naira, it equally expects the citizens to play their patriotic role by prioritizing and patronizing made in Nigeria goods and services.
He is also ensuring that we bring a sustainable strength to the currency so that when we talk about a new minimum wage, because many of our people have asked government officials about when the new minimum wage is coming in, those negotiations are ongoing, but what we do not want is a situation in which the minimum wage continues to be what it has always been in the history of our country, which is a moving goalpost. If we do not get a firm grip on the value of our currency, and it continues to be a volatile, devaluing asset, then whatever we do with the national minimum wage is going to essentially become a moot point, a nullity.
From the State House, Musbah Dan Wahab, NTA News.
And President Bola Tinubu will continue to support sub-national governments regardless of political party affiliations. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris said this when he called on Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
Taking the pen and effort to ensure that this flag is brought to all the governors of the Federation, captains of industry, everybody, especially local government. This is actually the correct Nigerian flag.
A homecoming for Mohammed Idris, Nigeria's information minister. His first official visit to Kano, where he learned and taught decades ago. The visit, he told Governor Yusuf, is in pursuance of his ministry's 5-point agenda of amplifying the activities of the federal government. Part of it is engagement with relevant stakeholders to promote direct feedback between the citizens and the government, reassuring the commitment of President Tinubu in supporting subnational governments.
All Nigerians equally deserve peace, they deserve security, prosperity, and progress, and all the other benefits of good governance, regardless of ethnicity, religion, gender, geography, or even political affiliation.
Let me say or commend the Honorable Minister, the Presidential Media Team, as well as all the heads of the media agencies for your efforts in amplifying the policies and programs of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, who thanked the minister for the initiatives, acknowledged President Tinubu's responsive disposition, citing the recent reopening of the Nigeria-Niger border. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Now, the West African Elders Forum is sending a delegation to Senegal ahead of the presidential election scheduled for this Sunday. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan, who is the chairperson of the forum, is leading the delegation alongside Mohammed Ibn Chambers. A statement by the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation says that members of the mission have already left Abuja for Dakar and will be there till 27th March 2024. The team will meet with key stakeholders, including outgoing President Macky Sall, opposition leaders, civil society, the security authorities, and the country's electoral commission. Now, Libya's shutdown of its main border crossing with Tunisia this week will remain in force. Libyan Interior Minister Imad Trabelsi says the closure will last until authorities put an end to smuggling, which involves powerful armed forces. Comfort Fashion has more.
The border post in the desert area of Ras Jdir, which is about 170 kilometers from the Libyan capital, Tripoli, is a main crossing point between Tunisia and Libya. However, on Tuesday, a clash between armed groups controlling Ras Jdir and security forces sent by Tripoli led the Libyan government to order for immediate closure of the border crossing. Libya's interior minister said in a statement that the groups are involved in smuggling activities which they consider to be their rights. Groups from cities in the border area have for years controlled Ras Jdir, benefiting from the lucrative parallel border trade. Thousands of Tunisians' family in the south also benefit from the trade. The closure of the border crossing is aimed at establishing security arrangements to restore the post-work and ensure it functions under the authorities and legitimacy of the states. Comfort Fashion, NTA News.
Now, Telegram, Ukraine's state hydropower company, says a Russian strike had hit its largest dam, the Dnipros in Zaporizhia. Telegram. The large areas of Ukraine are suffering blackouts after Russian missiles targeted energy infrastructure. 15 blasts were reported in the second largest city, Kharkiv, said the mayor, while more than 53,000 households in Odessa were without power. Ukraine's energy minister, German Galushenko, accused Russia of trying to provoke a large-scale failure of the country's energy system. A power line feeding the Zaporizhia nuclear plant had been cut, he added. And a magnitude 6.4 offshore earthquake hit Indonesia's Java Island on Friday. The quake had a depth of approximately 8 kilometers and struck off Java Island's northern coast near Bawean Island at about 3:52 p.m. local time. Reports by the United States Geological Survey says there were no immediate reports of injuries and no tsunami warning was issued by local authorities. The quake was felt more strongly in East Java province, including in the city of Surabaya and the coastal town of Toban. An AFP journalist in the city said he was at home when the earthquake struck and the jolt made them unsteady. Now, elsewhere, the nationwide strike of doctors at Kenya's public hospitals has entered the 7th day. The doctors are accusing the government of failing to implement the promises made in a collective bargaining agreement signed in 2017 after a 100-day strike. Comfort Fashion reports that the Kenya medical practitioners went on strike to demand comprehensive medical cover for the doctors, and because the government is yet to post 1,200 medical interns.
Despite the Labour Court order asking the union to put the strike on hold to allow talks with the government, doctors' union leaders said they will disregard the court order the same way the government had disregarded 3 court orders to increase basic pay for them and reinstate suspended doctors. The impact of the strike is being felt across the country, with many patients left unattended or being turned away from hospitals across the East African nation.
Mine is to call upon Kenyans, do not shy away from accessing services, especially at our national referral hospitals, as we wait to resolve the standing issue with the doctors that are on strike. But as far as I'm concerned, the referral hospitals are working pretty well, and we are committed to ensuring that all facilities under the national hospitals are working.
In 2017, doctors at Kenya's public hospitals held a 100-day strike, the longest ever held in the country, to demand better wages and for the government to restore the country's dilapidated public health facilities. They also demanded continuous training of and hiring of doctors to address a severe shortage of health professionals. Leaders of the union said 4,000 doctors are taking part in the strike. Comforts Fashion, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. We now take a break. More news when we return. Do stay with us.
Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and Voice of Nigeria, VON, cordially invite the general public to its 18th annual Ramadan lecture. Topic: Family Dynamics, Rights and Obligations from the Islamic Perspective. Guest lecturer, Professor Ilyas Usman Ona, Department of Arabic, Nasarawa State University. Chairman of the occasion, His Royal Highness, Honorable Justice Muhammad Sidi Bagi, 1, Emir of Lafiam Baribari. Special guest of honor, Muhammad Idris, Minister of Information and National Orientation. Royal Father of the Day, His Highness Malang Ahmad Nuhu Bammali, Emir of Zazzau. Chief Host, His Excellency Malang Ubasani, the Executive Governor, Kaduna State. Hosts, Malang Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, Director General NTA, Dr. Muhammad Bulama, Director General FRCN, Malang Jibril Baba Ndachi, Director General VON. Venue, Lumana Multipurpose Center, River Close, off Jabi Road East, off Sultan Road, Kaduna. Date 23rd March 2024. Time 9 a.m. Inshallah. For partnership, advert placement or sponsorship, call 080-3298-9963. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
It's everything you love, our stories in our language on Africa Magic. So hold on to your seats for 3 brand new indigenous series. Get ready for Abu Mansur in the thrilling Hausa drama, Buri. Join Ogechi in her seemingly perfect life in Ebi Ebi. And Queen Ademide's schemes, controversies, and a missing idol in Ijiade.
It is time.
Tune in to watch Buri every Friday to Sunday on Africa Magic Hausa, Ebi Ebi. Every Saturday and Sunday on Africa Magic Igbo. And Ijiade every Monday and Tuesday on Africa Magic Yoruba. Don't miss the best of these Naija series in your language, only on Africa Magic. Stay connected.
You're welcome back. Donald Trump appears to be scrambling for funds to pay a $464 million fraud fine. Trump Media, which runs the social media platform Truth Social, is poised to become a publicly listed company with shareholders of Digital World Acquisition Corp set to vote on Friday on whether to acquire it. Mr. Trump would have a stake of at least 58% in the merged company, worth more than $3 billion at Digital World's current share prices. It is a potential windfall for Trump if the purchase is approved, as the deal is likely to immediately resolve Mr. Trump's most pressing financial issues, such as his New York fraud penalty. Now, advocates of electoral reform want the Electoral Act to be amended for all election cases to be completed before winners are sworn into office. At the annual colloquium of the Haske Satumari Foundation, participants agreed that the people rather than the judiciary should have the final say in the electoral system. David Ayre reports.
Findings have revealed that Nigeria has the highest number of petitions after each election cycle across the world. Ranging from pre-election matters to petitions at the tribunal, the outcome of Nigeria's electoral process is left in the hands of the judiciary to determine. Political players are therefore advocating a process that will play down on the influence of the judiciary and have the system less expensive and cumbersome.
It is worrisome that where the Supreme Court, which is the Supreme Court of the land, the final court of the land, has made a pronouncement that lower courts reverse what the Supreme Court has stated, and there are no sanctions.
An election has taken place. Make it transparent. Transmit the result from the polling unit to the central server. Why is that so difficult?
As long as we do not have honest, intentional, and purposed conversations, followed by action, there is no African integration.
Organizers of the event believe that since political and judicial emancipation have major roles to play in economic development, efforts must be put in place to address the challenges around them.
There is a sense of sincerity in trying to put together a position for this nation where we will have a free and fair election.
When elections are won and lost, probably 90% of them ends there because of transparency that we hope to endanger by making sure that transparent and purposeful leadership is projected in all processes from the election, pre-election, the election itself, and post-election.
Electoral and judicial reforms, the imperative of Nigeria's democracy, governance, leadership, and its selection processes was the theme of the lecture. In Abuja, David Irie, NTA News.
Now, with the mission to restore the Federal Civil Service Commission as a professional hub and Center of Excellence Solution House for human resources practice in the service, the Commission has institutionalized a monthly seminar series designed to serve as a space and learning lab for federal officers. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Tunji Olaopa, says the seminar will contribute to deepening the sharing and learning of sustained key reforms in the service. Haman Jebani tells us more.
The seminar will examine some of the first-level issues and risks associated with the planned transition from analog to online computer-based commission assessment processes. Chairman, Federal Civil Service Commission, Professor Tunji Olaopa, says the starting point of the transformation journey is for the Commission to get back its originating mandate as the promoter and protector of the merit system in the civil service by hinging the implementation of the fair character policy of meritocracy while enhancing the potentials of the Renew Hope agenda of the President to game-change Nigeria's national transformation journey.
The Federal Civil Service Commission, in taking, competency-based human resource management to the next level, has posed for itself the question, who should be a civil servant? So we have seen all manners of people demonstrating the worst side of public service values. Also, we are beefing up performance management so that if you are wrongly recruited, you will show yourself when you are being assessed along the line of professional progression.
Key players say capacity building in the public service will keep workers abreast of contemporary development, perform their duties diligently and professionally for the growth of the system.
The system in use right now in processing promotion is not adequately transparent, is not adequately credible, and that it can bear improvement in its integrity.
The seminar centers on the institutionalized framework and procedure for the conduct of directorate-level exercise, guaranteeing integrity, transparency, and accountability of standard practice. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Are all the badly failed points that make travel on the Lokoja-Benin Highway a nightmare will undergo reconstruction with immediate effect. And this is coming out of a deal brokered by the Minister of Works, which allows an indigenous entity to take part in the reconstruction of the highway through a tax credit scheme. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
A quorum of contractors handling the reconstruction of the Lokoja-Auchi-Ekoma-Benin Highway, political representatives of the people of the three senatorial zones where the highway cut across, and the Minister of Works. On the table for discussion was how traveling on the Lokoja-Benin highway could be made easier.
I just came back from the route and we had a number of agreements.
60 kilometers of the highway now handed over to an indigenous company to execute through tax credit scheme. This will be spread in 3 spots, tackling the major bottlenecks on the highway.
The issue at stake here is the route from Lokoja down to Benin, where we have 4 sections.
Management is committed, to make the necessary investment under the tax credit. This is money that one is, putting, to do this road.
6 months is set and agreed as delivery date.
We are happy that through the President of the Honorable Minister, the President has given us a listening ears.
I'm happy that this is done. It's an excellent move for the 2 people.
The minister subsequently gave a directive for the immediate commencement of the project. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
And before we go, let's have a quick look at Saturday's weather forecasts in Nigeria and other parts of the world. And this is where we end the news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin Bemui and my sign language interpreter has been Shegun Ajayi. Thank you so much and bye for now.